How much is this, Kevin? Like
This setup with the real drum looking situation is about $5,000. The DWE I think is around $9,000.
yeah.
And with that saved money, we're going to get a separate laptop to trigger sounds on Easy Drummer.
Yeah.
With things like that, because the stock sounds sound fine, but the key when you're doing stuff is, triggering from a computer. So with that extra money, those $2,000, you can just buy a laptop with some Easy Drummer and you'll sound just like Bethel or Hillsong or whatever other things you're trying to do.
You hear from the pro, and now you're gonna hear from the sound engineer. Please do not buy these drums for your church just because it looks good, it sounds good, but when you bring in your church environment, yeah, people, they're gonna complain. Even sometimes the drummer, a lot of drums, they're very allergic to electronic drums. I'm just being honest with you. So a lot of drummers, especially professional, are allergic to electronic drums. So you're not gonna change their mind unless it's something is really, really good that they feel comfortable in it. Today, we are going to change our drums. We just got DW. This is a Roland VAD 507. And I'm gonna go, let me show you the drums that we use for our church. Bear with me. This is our drums. And this is what we got here. This is the drums behind. This is the DWE kit. And I can show you exactly how it looks like. It's really, really beautiful drums. But can you play these drums in your church? So we gotta find out. Like sound like this. So for me, I am a sound engineer in my church, and I'm gonna call the drummer for a church. He's a professional drummer, and he's also professional studio drummer, right? He plays drums in a professional studio, and he's also sound engineer in the studio. So I'm gonna call him to tell you exactly how the sound of this drum sounds like. I'm even gonna call the singers from my church, and to be honest with you, they will tell you, I love the drums, I love the sounds, how it looks like. I love how everything is very, very professional. But also as a congregation or as a singer, when they're singing here, right, as you can see, it's very close to them, right? You might think that the drums is gonna sound better, right? With this cymbal, this is the middle. It's very, very annoying. So you're gonna hear from singer's perspective, from sound engineer perspective, and also from the drummer perspective. And can you bring these drums in your church? As a church, can you buy this drum for your church? Hope to find out soon. Let's go.
I don't know if that bass drum's gonna fit in here, but we're gonna give it a try.
I think that's right. All right, guys, today is the day. So we bought DWE kit from my church, and we were able to use it. And like I said on the previous video, that we have a friend here, Kevin, is a professional drummer, and he's gonna give it side for the DWE kit, how it sounds like, how does it feel when he play the drums. And for as a singer also, like I said, I'm gonna ask a singer or any singers for a church to ask them like how the drum sounds like, and he will let you know exactly his perspective of the drummer. So now we're about to switch up the drums. We got, what's the name of these drums, Kevin? These are Roland V drums, TD27. So we're gonna roll with this, and I hope this changed the way we're hearing from congregation perspective. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys will follow us in this journey. Let's go. Hey guys, I know you guys don't see me on the background, but we just exchanged our DW8 kit to Roland D
It's a TD27
TD27 module, right? So this is the drummer here in our church. He's a professional drummer, and he's gonna give his perspective, the difference between the DWE kit drums and these drums. To be honest with you, with me, I mean, he just played couple seconds, right? And I hear the big difference. So I'm gonna ask him a question. Kevin, like, we just set up all these drums right now. Like, tell me exactly how do you feel about these drums and the other drums?
The biggest difference by far is the cymbals. I don't feel like I'm gonna break them every time that I'm hitting them. That was the biggest complaint that I had with the DWE. The heads feel pretty much the same. The rims on the DWE were actual, I think, triple flange hoops. They were metal because it is an acoustic and electric kit. However, if you're playing in a church environment where you need sound suppression and you don't want stuff loud, I would not recommend that kit whatsoever because the cymbals on the DWE kit are plated in metal. So when you're hitting it, you're getting a lot more resonance and it sounds like you're hitting like the side of a pole.
Yeah.
Rather than when you hit these, it's a lot softer of a sound because they're rubber and they actually feel a little bit better to play than the metal ones do.
Yeah. And so, I mean, for you as a drummer, would you prefer to play the DWA kit, or would you prefer to play with Roland TD27? Like, which one do you prefer the most?
That's a good question. I think if I were to have solely one kit, I would pick this one here, simply because of the volume issue and how it plays. Obviously, the DWE kit is a full-blown DW kit and it's wireless, which is much better than these wires here. However, I cannot play with those cymbals. I tried to get used to them for many weeks, but I would rather play on these rubber ones than play on that other kit.
All right, so guys, I'm gonna turn to the worship leader, right? And I'm telling you, so this is not funny. This is the drummer perspective, right? I'm gonna tell you, I already told you mine as a sound engineer. Now, as a singer, so we're gonna turn to the worship leader, and then he's gonna explain to you exactly how he feels. Right now, we're just packing up all this crappy DWE kit. I'm sorry, DW. But Wally, as a singer, right? You heard the drummers playing the drums in the back of your like. How do you hear the cymbals? Like, how do you feel when you hear those cymbals?
So by far, I'm not a professional, but just from listening, compared to what we had before, and then this Roland kit here, it sounds a lot cleaner and clearer. I definitely like the sound of this. My daughter also plays, and exactly what Kevin says about the cymbals.
Yeah.
The other one just feels like it's not very comfortable hitting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you don't have a quality sound coming from those cymbals. But from hearing what he just played, you know, maybe you're gonna have him play, but it sounds authentic, really good. So, yeah.
So guys, we're not beating down the DW A kit, but it's just the way people hear from church. We hear a lot of people complaining, and will come to me and like, hey, I think the drummer, he just broke the cymbal. It doesn't sound right. It's not that he's broken the cymbal, it's just the cymbal is the metal mixed with rubber, right? It doesn't sound right. So for you guys you're gonna hear the drums, right? Everything, the sounds with no EQ, with no processing, just the way it comes out, it's much, much better. And please, if you have the same problem with DWE kit, and we will not recommend you to use this in your church. Please do not use this because you will waste a lot of money, and this drum is less money. How much is this, Kevin? Like
This setup with the real drum looking situation is about $5 grand. The DWE I think is around $9 grand.
yeah.
And with that saved money, we're going to get a separate laptop to trigger sounds on Easy Drummer.
Yeah.
With things like that, because the stock sounds sound fine, but the key when you're doing stuff is, you know, triggering from a computer. So with that extra money, those $2 grand, you can just buy a laptop with some Easy Drummer, and you'll sound just like Bethel or Hillsong or whatever other things you're trying to do.
You hear from the pro, and now you're gonna hear from the sound engineer. Please do not buy these drums for your church just because it looks good, it sounds good, but when you bring in your church environment, yeah, people, they're gonna complain. Even sometimes the drummer, you know, a lot of drums, they're very allergic to electronic drums. I'm just being honest with you. So a lot of drummers, especially professional, are allergic to electronic drums. So you're not gonna change their mind unless it's something is really, really good that they feel comfortable in it. So I hope we can get back and show you exactly how a drum sounds like in a church. Please, I will leave the link below. And right now, guys, I will ask you to help me out, to help Kevin to create his own YouTube account. And I hope this is gonna be his first YouTube account that he's gonna have to show. So I probably will leave the link down on my account so you can see his go subscribe. He's a professional drummer. He's a studio recording also. So he does all these things for professional level. I'm just a sound engineer. So please do not kill me. Okay. If you have any question, get to the man.